You had mentioned this earlier. What makes the Rebbe's writings unique among all the writings from the period of the Shoah?
Well, there's a lot to this. These are very intelligent questions, I got to say. The first of all, it's not a memoir. It's not a private musing, of which, thank God, we have many very, very valuable memoirs, several of them from Warsaw itself, which give us an individual person's look at why these things were happening. But of course, memoirs are very much subject to the individual whim and personality of the people who produced them. So we can sort of locate it within their socioeconomic status, their religious status, and so on. This is, on the other hand, a public document. This is a document that was written for other people to consume. It is a record of sermons. We know from third-hand reporting, like, for example, the Rav Shimon Huber Band, that the Rebbe was incredibly popular in the war and that he attracted a large number of followers. Apparently, many of them, especially as the war wore on, were of a free-thinking variety, were not Hasidim at all, but they needed to hear his voice of consolation. So this was a document that described what was actually publicly consumed by Jews to try to understand what was happening to them. And finally, this is something that was unfolding in real time. So we can see, as we discussed earlier, the Groyanowski report, we can see how, at least through the lens of the Rebbe's sermons, Jews tried to understand what was happening to them, in 1939, in 1940, in 1941, and we see really remarkable shifts in their self-understanding, but more importantly than the shifts, we understand there is a core of Emunah that penetrated the entire horrific period.